at a minimum, there was serious tax dodging going on.
I'm telling you, don't put comfort. I told you nicely, eh?
This is Oxford Street, a 1.5 mile long shopping street that cuts the famous West End almost in half, known globally for its flagship retail stores like Selfridges, HMV, and Topshop, but for tourists and shoppers returning to London as it emerges from the pandemic, there has been a curious change. Enter the American Candy Store. The sudden proliferation of these stores has taken many people by surprise, causing a stir online.
If you live in London or you've ever visited, you've probably seen stores like these.
And they're all open, as if there's some kind of essential service.
With an American candy shop every 250 meters, if not less, now punctuating a street with some of the most expensive commercial real estate in the world. People have become curious as to how these stores, many of which often appear completely deserted, are making enough money to pay the bills.
Well, I mean, they all sell American-style sweets like Oreos and Jolly Ranchers, and they're all very colourful and play like blaring loud music. But the weird thing about them is they all look really, really similar.
We decided to go and see what the shoppers think.
Every one that we've passed looks exactly the same, the entrance.
I mean, I'm from America. It looks like they're full of American kind of candy and stuff like that.
I've actually heard that there's something to do with money laundering. I don't know if that's actually a thing.
No, I feel like they're just wasting their money. I feel like all the stuff that are over there, they've expired.
The pace of change has been dramatic, with many of these seemingly independent stores cropping up in sites previously home to some of the UK's biggest companies.
More and more popping up, and if you're walking down Oxford Street, it's very different than it was, say, 10 years ago when it was full of, Topshop and HMV, and that's kind of where I first kind of realised it, and it's just been such a topic of conversation, in the pub and stuff.
We're just approaching the HMV site here, which only just has become a candy store.
This was such an iconic store, and you can still see the famous little dog looking into the gramophone.
Look at this really cheap signage, tatty looking offering inside. This is not adding to the attraction of Oxford Street.
We decided to take a look ourselves.
Sorry, sir. How much are these? 10. 12. 12 pounds. 12 pounds for this. Sorry, sir. How much for these? 16 pounds.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, I'm serious.
You're kidding me. 16 pounds.
No, actually 16.99, basically 17.
Who's buying this?
Now the Twinkies are like 16.99. But if you really want them, I can make it 14.99.
How much for this? For this? Oh. For this?
9.99.
How much?
9.99.
£9. Bye.
But I feel like there's just too many of this sweet shop. They should put up a clothes shop, you get what I'm trying to say? There's more sweet than clothes, right? There's more sweet than clothes, right?
Yeah, there is. It's a bag shop, isn't it? Like, there's other stuff going on.
Money laundering, I think they're owned by like drug dealers and that.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I heard anyway.
Oh, where did you hear that?
Just a mate. You know how these things go around.
It's weird. A lot of them. I mean, I don't understand how they can afford the storefronts or anything like that.
How are these stores making any money? Another similar phenomenon may hold the key. A significant number of these premises used to be home to souvenir shops that have already been investigated by the private eye in 2019.
So, have you actually been into one of these shops?
Oh, I've been to loads of them, yeah. We did discover that, at a minimum, there was serious tax dodging going on. We discovered that some of the bigger shops weren't paying VAT on their supplies as they should have done. We even actually had a recorded conversation from somebody involved in the business saying that this was not clean money coming in from Afghanistan. Most of the shops were run by Afghan nationals, but we couldn't prove it. We never really proved that.
So are these American candy stores doing the same thing? It's hard to say, but according to an investigation by Time Out magazine, who spoke to Westminster Council, these shops are operated under a complex chain of leases. subleases, and licenses, which are usually highly questionable. Westminster Trading Standards say they're investigating complaints, while the council says it knows there's a problem.
If a premises is empty, then the owner of that premises is still liable for business rates. But clearly, if you have another occupier, then the new occupier is liable for business rates.
You are now, in fact, owed millions of pounds.
We are. While it's particularly bad here, it's happening across other areas of Westminster. It's something we've been talking to government about. Something needs to be done.
Whenever it tries to bring cases to court, council says the businesses are often dissolved quickly. But it isn't just business rates.
Westminster Council believes the properties may also be used to commit other civil or criminal offences. Either way, it's hard to keep up. One of these stores, American Food Shop, even mysteriously changed hands to a 21-year-old owner in May 2021 for just 1 month.
Many of the companies liquidated and re-established so quickly and so often that they never even file accounts with Companies House.
The vast majority of Westminster's business rates is redistributed across the country. So, I mean, we've got about a £5 million debt at the moment. That's £5 million that won't get redistributed across the country.
So far, the councils say the companies behind these stores have been uncooperative and often provide them with the details of shell companies, or even outright false information.
The bottom line is to try and follow the money trail.
As the country looks set to head into a recession, we're likely to see more high street brands go under or retreat online. And as landlords find it increasingly difficult to let out properties to more desirable tenants, next time you go into one of these stores and consider paying £16 for a box of brightly coloured cereal, think about what you might be buying into. One more thing that I've just remembered is that on the first day of filming, we were confronted by, some of the shop owners. And on the second day of filming, when we were on the complete other side of Oxford Street, these same guys actually walked by and winked at us. I pulled out my phone camera, I started filming them, and the guy actually ran inside a competing, what seems to be a competing shop. Sometimes we'd be walking down Oxford Street and we'd turn around and we'd see people taking pictures of us or caught on the phone, with black sunglasses on. And at one point, a guy literally hid behind a tree. It seems they're all in the same WhatsApp group chat or something. They're all in communication with each other. There's something very deeply wrong here.
Right, get the fuck out of my face. Yeah, get out there from here, on the other side.
It's on your face. It's on your face. The camera's not on your face.
Come on. Face again, yeah.
It's on your face. It's not on your face.
I'm telling you, yeah. Face again. I'm telling you, don't put camera. I told you nicely, yeah? Don't put the camera right in front of my face.
It's a free country, we're on the pavement.
You didn't tell us anything. So why the fuck you putting the camera in my face?
We're not paying
I told you before as well, you walked away and you came back.
I've been doing it now, I've been seeing it for the whole
Yeah, so every customer...